For you, when was that moment where what Gina Bianchini calls the flywheel, right? So the flywheel where the community really started to grow exponentially. What was that moment that you woke up and it was like, oh my God, this has a life of its own. I don't have to work so hard. Or is that really true? Do you always have to work hard on making sure the community is rolling the way you want?
There are two parts to that. So I want to go back to something you said previously, before you asked your question. This is something that I think I do really well, and I think this is why my community has grown. I truly believe in doing things that don't scale. And that's one-on-one connection, calls. There's an article that Paul Graham wrote. That's what it's exactly called. Do things that don't scale. I think it's an article that every single founder needs to do, because I think now a lot of people, like I said, post and expect the Instagram or LinkedIn to do all the work for you. And you have to do things that don't scale to all the way through your business, right? And if you can't do it, then you hire people to do things that don't scale. So that's really important. I highly suggest people read that article. As far as, when did things take off? I've built along the way an ambassador and affiliate program. And I think that helped tremendously. So there are a few things. I always tell people, connect with people that you can steal their audience, right? Who can you connect with that has connections to your ideal audience, right? Podcasts are a great way to do that. Community builders, connecting with them, affiliate programs, ambassador programs, those are great, right? Women who have a larger following, maybe even not a larger following, but an engaged following that you can bring into your community to teach workshops. So that's what I did. The beginning of my community, it was for people like me. Like, I had just launched this community that I had never built a community before. I'd never built a startup before. I needed to learn too. So I was bringing women in weekly to teach workshops. So I was connecting with women one-on-one. They were able to promote the community for me because they were promoting their workshop. I would create assets for them. I would tag them. There'd be lots of cross collaboration. So that is one way that I started to get people in. The affiliate and ambassador program also, I'm actually relaunching that in June. But that also helps when you incentivize people to bring in their friends for, a small percentage of money. That also helps. So I track that. At one point, like 30% of my new signups were coming from affiliates and ambassadors. And then people will naturally talk about you when you make them feel like they're your best friend. And so that's the one thing you have to continue doing. You have to connect, you have to talk, you have to build relationships and like I said, remember things. Like on my networking calls, people will talk about themselves. And I'm like, oh, what about your podcast that you're about to record? And they're like, oh yeah, thanks. So that helps because I'm able to highlight them and they feel seen, So it's a constant, you have to try different things. But at the forefront, you have to build relationships and you have to put effort into your members, and then they will do the selling for you. They'll talk about your programs. They'll talk about your community. They'll talk about the value that they're getting. Oh, I got this amazing referral from somebody in LikeMinded Collective, or, oh, I have now a new business bestie in LikeMinded Collective through the networking call, which has happened so many times. So people talk about it for you. And most recently, I've had to put LikeMinded Collective personally on the back burner because I have my in-person community and my co-working space, but I have seen a dip a little bit. And so now that my co-working space is open, I'm full-fledged going back to LikeMinded Collective. I'm doing more into social, more engagement. I'm going to other virtual networking calls to bring more people in. So I saw a dip when I kind of exited, not too bad. People were still posting, people were still joining, but I saw a dip. And so now I need to go back to doing things that don't scale.